Hello, I'm Doodle and welcome to 200 days as a starving farmer in Stardew Valley. Only we aren't exactly starving anymore, we're just a little bit peckish. With all of our animals now, we have an unending supply of omelettes, so as long as I remember to make them and eat them, we should be okay. This doesn't mean I don't have goals though. I really want to complete the community centre as I've never seen the theatre before. I want to get 10 villagers to their maximum possible hearts, get a horse, get married, and if we have time after completing the community centre, I'd also like to see Ginger Island. All the mods I use will be in the description below, along with any music that isn't from Stardew Valley. If you enjoy this video at any point, please consider dropping a like, and with that, let's jump into it. Day 1 back on the farm, I spent getting used to where things were again, taking care of chores and saying hi to all my animals. Clint sent us an iron bar in the mail and then seconds later requested one, so I made sure to bring it back to him, assuming that he posted it by accident. It was the last day of the night market, so I bought loads more plants to give me options for farm decorations over the next year. I ate an omelette in my house and noted that the eggs weren't giving me as much dopamine anymore. Maybe it's time to find a new source of protein. Day 2, and we've only just started this video, yet I'm back at the sewing machine. I made a green sludge and a mouse top, a bronze chest plate, and some merch from Yoba themselves. I spent that night chopping down as many trees as possible. Day 3, a baby chicken hatched, so I called them Exuma. I bought a deluxe coop from Robin, then discovered it's Marlon's birthday, giving him a frozen tear that triggered our first cutscene with him. He introduced us to Krobus, a shadow creature that lives in the sewers but is non-aggressive and speaks human. We can now go and see him anytime, as he runs a shop. After this, we have another cutscene, where I'm being even creepier than usual, eavesdropping on Lewis and Marnie talk about their relationship. When they catch me, I freak out, panicking and disappear back into the bushes. Day 4. Something tells me this isn't where I put the radiator when winter started. I spent the day foraging, buying 2 new hats from the Hat Mouse, one for Yobamus and one for spring. That night we made nearly 50,000 gold in one go, mostly from selling all of my cheese at the same time. Day 5, and the Coop upgrade has thankfully fixed that buggy radiator. It's shopping spree time. First, I ran to Pierre's and picked up the final backpack upgrade. I made some dyeable shirts, a polka dot headscarf, and some shorts. Afterwards, I bought 3 rabbits, which I named TFC, rest in peace, once a hermit, always a hermit, Ren, and Gemini. I bought a new barn as an impulse buy, finishing the day out having a beer and a catch up with Shane at the lake. Day 6, luck was on our side, so I went to the mines. I reached my goal of level 120 really fast, collecting the skeleton key to open Skull Caverns, though I will need to prepare some more before we actually go there. I also managed to get 6 geodes, 81 gold, 35 iron, tons of gems, and over 260 stone. A great day mining. Day 7, I smashed all the geodes I found yesterday and put the new ones that I found in the museum. I spent 10,000 gold for a community centre bundle and then gave out a truckload of jam to all the villagers, who must have some serious blood sugar problems by now. I also rediscovered my crab pots, which were practically overflowing. Day 8, I moved my new barn and upgraded it, and went to buy more animals. I got 2 cows, which I named 5-Up and Skiz, and 2 goats named Kier and Dev. I moved all of my animal machines into my bigger barn, and then spent the rest of the day doing farm chores. Happy Yobamus, everyone! It's the Feast of the Winter Star and day 9. Our partner is Marlon, who I had no gifts for other than my precious golden pumpkin, which I reluctantly handed over. I didn't even write in my notes what Clint gave me, so it was probably trash, and after that I minded my quarry and then had an early night. Day 10, it was time to get ready for spring. No, not in terms of my farm, in terms of my outfit. It's like you guys don't even know me by now. I made loads of new clothes, including a denim jacket and some pretty weird t-shirts, and my collection was so large now that I needed a second wardrobe. Today is also the day I made sashimi, which would have been very useful in early game and lots of people told me about, but it's worse than omelette, so tough luck. Day 11, I went on the grind to get the big barn. I chopped a ton of trees and then sold all of my cheese to get the rest of the wood through Robin. I still don't know why I wanted this barn, but I was really going for it. I went around giving out gifts for the rest of the day, even trying to catch an albacore for a quest, but gave up and went home after getting really bored. Day 12, I went to buy even more animals, stumbling into a cutscene for a very drunken and passed out Shane. We woke him up with our watering can, and I do have sympathy for him. However, he said some things around jazz that children shouldn't be hearing, so I left feeling kind of annoyed. I bought 4 cows from Marnie, naming them Lagundo, Mythical Saw, he has a long name, okay, Corinthius and Dug. I tried fishing for that albacore one last time, but couldn't get one before the end of winter. Day lucky 13, it's officially year 2. Kent came back from the war and came to say hi, and we got a letter saying Robin and Clint's raw materials had increased in price. Fantastic. Lewis gave us some land to the right of town, claiming it was an eyesore, and I changed into my lovely spring outfit. I bought loads of new modded seeds, and spent right up until midnight planting and watering all of them. Day 14, I had a nice chat with the ladies in the town square, who it turns out are serious gossipers and I should be careful not to offend any of them. I upgraded my pickaxe at the blacksmith's, then made some early progress clearing the land that Lewis had given me, with future plans to move all of my kegs and preserve jars here to save room on my farm. Day 15, I chopped trees. Yeah, that's it. The whole day, I chopped trees. Between day 15 and 16, I had actually taken a little break to start recording a secret Stardew Valley project, and came back to find all of my portraits broken. I panicked, and spent the whole day trying to fish up a shad just to end the day and save. You can only fish up shad in rain, so I don't even know what I was trying. Turns out some of the mods in my secret project needed Smappy 1.15, so I updated it and broke my old mod pack until I switched back to 1.14. Everything is fine now, it was a stupid mistake to make, and it's going to make recording both of these things at the same time a bit more of a nightmare. Day 17, I completely finished clearing space for my kegs and tried to go and fish. This right here, the sped up footage that you guys are watching, is the exact moment I heard a coo weirdly loud in real life and turned around to see this guy. Nothing else important happened in Stardew Valley, so let's focus on that pigeon. He couldn't work out how to leave through the living room window, so I sort of moved him around the flat to try and grab him in a blanket when he stopped flapping. Eventually he ended up on top of our fridge and dove out the kitchen window instead. No harm done, he was pretty chill, and got out on his own without me needing to touch him. Day 18, back to Stardew. It was raining, so I put on a jacket. I finally placed all my kegs and jars in their new home, and got a cutscene where we found something in Pierre's room. If anyone knows what it is we found, please tell me in the comments. It's super mysterious and I'm dying to know. I tried fishing up a shad, I need 2 of them, but I didn't have much luck, so ended the day giving out gifts at the saloon. Day 19, I stayed on my farm all day, doing chores and keeping to myself. Until day 20, where I could hear a commotion and went to find Andy and Lewis arguing outside Pierre's store, drawing in quite a crowd. Andy was struggling financially, and news of rising bills wasn't sitting well with him, something I think a lot of us can relate to. Afterwards, we spotted Victor surveying a bridge, and we discovered he studied to become a structural engineer, and I go back to fishing. I managed to glitch the game, or get possessed, whichever you prefer, hovering around Artemis like a ghost, and finish up the day breaking some rocks. Even though I started late, I got 32 iron and 137 stone, more productive than spending the whole day fishing. Day 21, and we're rich! It was a huge crops day, and I also sold all my mayo, cheese, and cloth. We ran into Victor again, this time at the graveyard, where he told us about his possibly dead cat, then crashed the exercise class to give all the ladies a tulip. Harvey insisted on giving us a checkup, and I have to be honest, the portraits mod really does him favours. That night we got what I can only describe as mad stonks from the crazy amount of produce we sold. Day 22. I had decided to streamline farm production, and that meant getting rid of our goats. Charlie Barles, Keir, Dev and MatPat. May you be bought by a farm with considerably more land than mine has. Harvey said he wanted to get to know me better, hey, and I gave Vince a birthday gift, getting me a new award, 20 friends over 5 hearts. In the saloon, Elliot forced a glass of wine on us, and we helped sad Gus confront Pam about paying her bar tab. For our third cutscene of the day, we find Abigail trying to avoid homework. She asks if we want to play a multiplayer game, and we brutally reject her. I'm not going to be the reason that somebody fails college. Day 23, Sam turns up at our front door to invite us to a concert, and I spend the day running around like a headless chicken trying to find a last-minute rave outfit. I am not a last-minute planner, as you can tell. Also, I play with the music off, so I have no idea what Editor Doodle has decided to put into this segment. More people turned up than I thought. After we got home, I got changed, but decided to keep the horns. They gave me sheep vibes, and that's kinda cute. Day 24, I spent tidying up my farm for the first screenshot of the year, and then we went to town. I edged closer to my final sheepy form, then got a cutscene where Abigail gets caught by her dad whilst training with a sword. I agree with doing what's true to you, however, there are safe and unsafe ways to do that, and I think she should contact the Adventurers Guild instead of trying to be self-taught. Maybe her dad would take her a bit more seriously then as well. Day 25! It's photo time! This is what our farm is currently looking like. It's also the Egg Festival, and unlike my other 2 recent series, I destroyed the competition, collecting 10 eggs, and feeling pretty guilty about it since poor Vince and Jazz were stood pretty nearby looking sad. Day 26, all of my crops finished and looked great. I went to the community centre and finished the Wizards bundle, getting 5 gold bars and completed the vault, celebrating with a mini Junimo party. I made a cute dress at Emily's, and that night the bus finally got unlocked. Day 27, it was raining. That means fishing. I'm sure you are all as excited about that as I am. I fished in the river until I caught both the shad I needed, then in the ocean until I caught an eel. Walking into Gus's, I got a Clint cutscene where he was having Emily trouble. No surprises there. I handed my fish in to the community centre, then headed home for the night. Day 28, and despite the awkward cutscene yesterday, I'm back at Clint's and he's cracking open a load of geodes. When I went to hand them in, I got a different cutscene of Penny prepping for her lesson. She explains she's working towards a teaching certificate, which honestly I think would be great for her. For the rest of the day, I ran around collecting berries, using a survival burger to increase my drops. That night, a fairy came and grew some of my parsnips for me. Day 29, I made some pepper poppers in order to move faster, not realising that they last way longer than coffee. I got a cutscene at Robin's where she gave me some blueprints, then I moved my barn and upgraded my house. As I went to go forage, we met Leah and gave her a hand getting some fruit down from a tree that she couldn't reach on her own. Day 30, I sold my sheep that was named Rubber Ross, though we still have a cow named after him, so I didn't feel too bad about it. I went to the newly opened quarry and found a secret cave. I went in and got attacked by flying skulls and strong slimes and decided to go to the normal mines instead. I was shocked to see the same style of mine from the secret ones appearing in these mines and took that as a sign that something weird was going on and left. As we did, we got a Linus cutscene where we chatted over the campfire and he taught us how to make wild bait. Day 31, all I did is craft 7 more preserve jars and give out gifts. But day 32, I bought a pig, naming it Goldshaw. We got a cutscene with Magnus where he admitted that he did in fact have a relationship with Caroline years ago, and we also saw Sebastian working on his bike. We agreed to go on a ride with him sometime. Day 33, I ate 3 bowls of algae soup, then bought a mill from Robin, discovering that stone now costs 100 gold for every single piece. To keep the cutscene train rolling, we got one with Harvey, where I just stop by and say hello, and then one with Sophia, where we take her to pet Dusty. The rest of the day, I made more progress, giving out gifts. Day 34, we need tea leaves, so I went to visit Caroline's sunroom. We got a pretty trippy cutscene and a single tea leaf which I put straight into a keg, and then went to the Adventurers Guild. We bought a pretty good yet very expensive sword and used it to clear out the secret cave that I found the other day. There were loads of flying skulls, a confusing maze-like layout, and at the end of it I got a golden scythe. I went home feeling like I had been definitely ripped off. Day 35 was a gift-giving day, and I started off at the exercise class. Next up was the doctor's office, where I scared Maru so much she dropped a beaker. Other than the gift-giving, I put some honey in a keg for the community centre bundle, and gave Andy a farmer's lunch for his birthday. Day 36, Gus came by in the morning and gifted us a jukebox. It's the day of the flower dance. This year, I'm actually going. So I mustered up the courage and I asked Harvey. He's tidy, he doesn't act like a teenager, he's very polite, and most importantly, he puts health first, which for the food-based challenge is very fitting. Okay, fine. The portrait helped a lot. I've got to admit, it did definitely factor into the final decision. I was a little disappointed I didn't have time to make a white dress to match the other girls, but I did have fun. Day 37, I decorated my home with some sunflowers and some leaves, then left to do some more chores for the community centre. I got a fish for the maki roll and some algae and stone for a fish pond to get roe. I ended up having an early night. Day 38, and all the crops are finished. We got double cutscenes, as if we haven't already had enough of them. The first of which was at the exercise class, where Harvey made us promise not to tell anyone that he takes part. I think the best form of exercise is the one that you enjoy doing the most, so I honestly respect his confidence to take part in something even though he is embarrassed about it. In the front of Pierre's store, we had a cute meet-up with the other farmers in Pelican Town, and I finished the day up by purchasing 2 auto-grabbers from Marnie's, so I wouldn't have to spend 2 hours every single morning in the barn and the coop. Day 39, I bought the fish pond from Robin. I had never had one of these before, so it does take a little bit for me to work out how to use it. Speaking of firsts, I decided to go to Skull Caverns and took loads of food and water. I didn't make it down too far, only to level 19, but I did find a smidge of iridium ore and saw my first dinosaur. Day 40 was a stormy day, perfect for generating batteries. I earned 100,000 gold in one go from Pierre, and donated loads of stuff to the community centre. To finish off the day, I was back to being the jam fairy, handing out gifts to as many villagers as possible. It's the first day of summer, day 41, and I bought loads of seeds, including the very expensive kiwi, the modded raspberry and wasabi, along with some stuff for the community centre, namely red cabbage and poppies. I caught some rainbow trout to go in the pond to make roe, and then spent the rest of the day planting seeds, making it to bed just in time. Days 42, 43 and 44, I literally just rearranged my farm the entire time. This did include buying a shed to move my chess monster indoors. At the end of day 44, we got a visit from Magnus's ex-missus, who gifted us with a void egg. Day 45, I woke up to find my fish requesting honey. Kind of scary that they can talk, but I guess the hat mouse can, so I should stop questioning it. I spent most of the day moving all of my chests into the new shed, yet more farm rearranging, something that would carry on into the next day, although I will stop bringing it up. I spent the evening giving out gifts in the bar once again. Day 46, and some of you are going to be pretty upset, but I've made up my mind. We got a cutscene with Harvey where he nerds out about planes and miniature models, and I decided to date him. Before any of you criticise Harvey, I just want you to know that my real life partner of nearly 4 years likes miniature models, is scared of heights, and was very shy when we first met, so if you're going to diss Harvey, pick something that isn't any of those. Afterwards, I went on the hunt for 1 iridium ore, digging up geodes in the very low levels of the mines. It's day 47 and it's time to smash all of the geodes that we had collected. Everyone, cross your fingers. I need this. I'm not ready for Skull Caverns right now. Yes! We have minecarts! That took way too long to complete. To celebrate, I finally finished my storage system. 2 very grindy tasks completed, and I'm feeling good. Day 48, I woke up to Gunther at the front door, thanking us for all of our donations. I got my first roe from the pond and was super sad to discover I actually needed 15 of them. I tried going to Skull Caverns, but kept getting mummy-infested levels, so I left and went to meet Sandy instead. A failed mining trip, but at least Artemis got to experience a walk in the desert for the first time. Day 49, we got 40,000 gold from the Regional Secretary of Artifacts, and I decided for the first time to go and visit Krobus. They were very happy to see us, and we bought a star drop from them. I ran into Penny and the kids having a picnic, and Vincent accidentally let it slip that he had seen Sam lifting Penny into a tree, which massively embarrassed her. I spent the last part of the day clearing the forest around Marnie's, and ended up earning over 100,000 gold in 1 day from selling artisan products. It's the halfway point, day 50, and time for another screenshot. We met Robin outside of our farm, having gone for a jog, then got a very maths-heavy cutscene with Maru. I decided I wanted to upgrade my house and get a horse, meaning we would have to go to the secret woods daily to collect hardwood. And since I was in the area, I visited Magnus for the first time in ages. Day 51, and I had completely forgotten about the luau. I ran over with a gold quality cheese, hoping it would do enough to get the best response. And it did! Hearts increase for everyone. It's day 52 and it's raining. I bought an iridium rod, then stumbled across Hayley looking for her bracelet, which I found super fast because honestly she's just bad at looking for stuff. And then we got to fishing. With that job finished, I stumbled into Shane in the woods who really needed some help. We took him to Harvey, who said he would hook him up with a great counsellor friend of his. Day 53, Shane showed up in the morning, both to say sorry and to let us know he was, in fact, going to start seeing a therapist. Shortly after, we had a meet up with Andy, who told us the history of all the farms in the valley that went out of business. A nice, upbeat topic of conversation. I went to Robin's and bought a stable, getting even more cutscenes from Robin and Demetrius, and then a really weird one for Abigail where apparently I know how to play the mini harp, and did so happily in the rain. Day 54, we got more batteries. Then we went and collected hardwood from the secret forest. I spent most of the rest of the day trying and failing to make a pie. We also hatched a void chicken, which I named Cleo. By day 55, I had finally managed to understand how pie works, then named my horse Axeman. I took my jade to the desert, hoping to trade it for stairs. However, apparently that's a Sunday only thing. I did a pretty good job in Skull Caverns, being careful, eating often, but then I got just a little too greedy. I had my first death of the game, but future hubby saved us. We lost our 10 jade, geodes, and some gems, but I did manage to keep my 13 iridium ore. On day 56, I gave Harvey a bottle of thank you wine for saving us, and it maxed him out at 10 hearts. I gave a lot of jam to the exercise ladies, and gave Gus 24 eggs for a quest. I ended the day back in the secret forest collecting hardwood. Day 57, I got an invite from Harvey in the mail to go to Grampleton Fields, and when we did, there was a hot air balloon. Harvey was freaking out most of the way up, but once that we were up there, we had a really good time. We stayed above Pelican Town for longer than we were supposed to, spying on the villagers, which is clearly our favourite hobby, so it's sweet that Harvey knew that. It was one of the better 10 heart cutscenes I've had, and after it was over, I went and bought a furniture catalogue from Robin. I sold a ton of stuff I had in storage, and ended up making 130,000 gold back. Day 58, we bought the other catalogue, so it's house decorating time. This is what I had created by day 59. We are getting a house upgrade soon, so I didn't want to go too overboard yet. Heading to the secret woods, I saw that the trader was there, and selling a beetroot, which I grabbed and took to the community centre. In the saloon, we got to see the giant omelette we helped Gus create, and I was extremely annoyed I didn't get an invite to try any as the omelette critique of the valley. Day 60, we woke up to receive the Beloved Farmer Award, which I had never gotten before. We helped Willy and Gus deal with a small problem, and then went and bought the mermaid pendant. We asked for Harvey's hand in marriage, and he says we have 3 days. It's time to make a dress. We started with a classic white, but it wasn't quite matching and I wasn't feeling it, so I ended up with a very auspicious red one instead. Look, it's important if I say it's important. It's my video. I can talk about pointless dress colours if I want to. Day 61, we took care of farm chores and went to the secret woods. And day 62, we did exactly the same thing. Loads of crops also finished, including red cabbage, blueberry, kiwi, coffee beans and sugarcane, and we also found an owl statue at the bottom of the farm. Day 63, and it's already our wedding day. Lewis, get out the way, no one can see me. There we go. It's gonna take a while to get used to Harvey living with us, but step 1 was updating the bedroom to better match his room on the side. I blended both styles together and I think it turned out pretty great. I also repurposed part of my wedding dress to wear for a while but in a more practical way, and the rest of the day I spent pottering around the farm doing chores. Day 64, I woke up and gave Harvey his morning wine bottle. Happy honeymoon, darling, I'm going to Skull Caverns where I nearly died. I didn't make it as far down this time, but I did get a lot of gold and a smidge of iridium. I need stairs badly, so I definitely need to start visiting the desert on Sundays. I also ate way too many cereal bars before bed and got stomachache. Days 65 and 66, I spent chopping trees. What can I say? There's a lot of resources I need for my planned projects. And then day 67, I upgraded my house. Alex couldn't remember my name, which you would think he would have heard at the wedding he attended, and then afterwards Elliot invited us for some one-on-one time in his boat. So maybe everyone really did forget the wedding. Finally, in our trio of cutscenes, Willy showed us a fish. Did I say trio? I lied. We aren't done. No, now we're in the town square, being a background character in a commercial for Jojo Mart. No idea who thought that was a good idea, but here we are. And we must have walked back with Clint because suddenly we're having a conversation with him about the Adventurers Guild. I am not a social person. This kind of fried my brain, but it's better to just let the wave take you where it wants to. So I finished up the day by visiting Krobus and giving them some jam. It's day 68, and guess what I have finally finished collecting? I have 15 row, and I took them to the community centre. Now all we need is 2 walleye and we're done. I celebrated by playing a game of tag with a Junimo. Whilst killing time, we met Olivia and she told us some very scary and real news about the war with the Gotoro Empire. She has friends and family over there, but also friends and family here, and because a lot of news is censored, she has no idea if the people she loves are okay or not. We walked to the Moonlight Jellies together with a lot to think about, and stood on the pier looking out towards the Fern Islands as the jellyfish swam by. Day 69, the first day of autumn. We got stopped in town by Evelyn, who told us a lot of really nice things about our granddad, and we also learned that he never had animals, only crops. We bought pumpkin, artichoke, watermelon, sweet potatoes, soybeans, peanuts, and later on aubergine too. I made an autumn outfit and then spent the rest of the day watering my crops. Day 70, our house upgraded, so obviously I abandoned all of my tasks and spent a full day decorating it. By day 71, I had decided it was good enough for now, and actually did some farming, planting 6 rare seeds and an ancient seed and some beetroot in the greenhouse. I got 2 cutscenes with Alex, once where he explained how hard studying is for him, and once where he apologised for his previous behaviour. I'm not keen on him as a character, but it's definitely progress. After that, we went home for an early night. Day 72, Harvey gave us a star drop. I looked up in advance what I needed for Ginger Island, and the main thing I was missing was iridium. I went back to Skull Caverns, and for some reason OBS decided it would be great to freeze right here for the rest of the day, but I can tell you we got 26 iridium ore and a lot of other great stuff too. Day 73, we're also going to need some more hardwood if we want to get to Ginger Island. I chopped trees until evening and managed to collect 50 more. We got the best cutscene ever, where Haley falls off a cow, then one in a bar, where we just chat with Olivia. I gave out as many gifts as I could, and then headed home with both my animals. On day 74, I went to Robin's and discovered I could get extra rooms in my house, for free. I got both for no particular reason, and then got carried away and bought the cellar. There goes my money. The rest of the day I spent tidying the farm for the screenshots tomorrow. Day 75, I took that screenshot of my farm and then sold my duck Kurgasak to make room for my new void chicken, XB. At this point I'm praying for rain, so I decided to pass time in Skull Caverns. I traded some jade for stairs and easily made it past level 50, getting another 25 iridium ore and 1 iridium ingot. That night, all of our money problems vanished. It's day 76, and our prayers have been answered. It's raining, but I do have to wait until 12 PM. I upgraded my axe to gold and then ran around collecting berries. I fished at the lake and pretty quickly caught both of the walleye I needed. I ran to the community centre and handed them in, completing every bundle for the first time ever in nearly 400 hours of playtime. This shouldn't have been surprising to me as I have way more time in Minecraft and Skyrim, yet both dragons are still alive and mocking me. After the cutscene was over, I realised the sound of the fishing minigame was still playing. I tried to fix it, but even the game wasn't expecting me to beat it and broke itself. Day 77, the community centre is now open. Everyone came to see it and I got a Steam award. I chose to be diplomatic with Morris. partly because I like his employees Claire and Martin, and whilst everyone was talking about community and the future, I was daydreaming about Ginger Island. Whilst collecting berries, I heard a dynamo noise from the forest. I had a look around, but I couldn't find an entrance yet. Day 78, we can see the boat! I went to run over and met a sad Claire, who hadn't been informed that she was out of a job. I hope she still visits town. I collected my gold axe, then handed in my pick to upgrade to iridium, and finally got to Willie's. The boat needed 5 batteries. Easy. Iridium. Got 'em. And 200 hardwood. Well, rats, I'm 50 short. I finished collecting it over the rest of the day, and that night, Harvey asked if we should have a baby. Day 79, I got ready for a day on Ginger Island, only to discover that the boat gets repaired overnight. I planned a tropical island outfit out of boredom, then day 80 rolled around. No more setbacks. I loved the cutscene with the boat. It's so cute, and the coral reef where the boat docks was pretty too. I began exploring, finding my first golden walnut and a shy, adorable kid that lives with the parrots. A fiery wisp led me towards the volcano. However, I didn't bring my watering can, or my pick, so I just fished for the rest of the day. It's day 81, and I'm back for round 2, this time with the necessary equipment. I tried to follow the wisp from yesterday, but it disappeared, so I explored on my own. This place is super dangerous, and after getting attacked by a big group of unfriendly wisps, I decided I was underprepared and underskilled, and headed back home to make a better plan of action. Day 82, I went and gave Magnus a gift for the first time in like 2 seasons. I looked into the terminated Jojo Mart building and found the secret bundle, but I didn't have a single one of the items yet. The rest of the day, I gave out gifts and began to move my storage back into the house so I could destroy the shed. This continued into day 83, where I also decided to decorate the kids' room. The house is starting to look super cute now, and I'm pretty happy with it. Day 84 was the day of the Stardew Valley Fair. After the comments I got in a different series, I decided to try and make the most varied Grange display I could, including iridium, modded jam and pie, artisan products, and 2 of my highest value crops of the season. I won it and got a score of 96, but it was only 4 points higher than my mayo and pumpkin donation of last year. With nothing else to do, I stuffed my face with 3 burgers and then slowly waddled my way home. Day 85 was farm rearranging day. I moved the greenhouse, coop, unused barn and silo, and I bought a slime hutch, which I'd never had before. I put stone everywhere and placed some paths to the shrine, but the farm was going to need a lot more work, so I continued this all the way up to day 87 and was rewarded by a home-cooked dinner. Harvey had made angel hair spaghetti or something, which proves he makes a better stay-at-home parent than Miss Omelette over here. On day 88, I met Shane in the forest, cleaning up his mess. He seemed to be doing a lot better than after we last saw him, and afterwards I went crazy buying animals. We got 4 more cows, featuring the return of Charlie Bowles, plus Wickedy, Therm, and Evolution. Next, I bought some sheep, Lilula, Poxel, and Ring Queen. This will probably be the last time I buy animals like this, as even if I wanted more, our farm is just too small to support them. Day 89, I was back to rearranging the farm. I finished the new chicken pen, put a slime in the incubator, and bought a second fish pond. Day 90 was Community Day. I headed over and spent some time appreciating how great everything looks now. Then I gave out jam to as many people as I could. I headed home in the rain, making a mental list of all the crazy stuff I wanted to complete in the final 10 days. Day 91, I went mining, for several reasons. 1, I needed to practice timing sword swings on flying creatures. 2, progress on the monster slaying quests for the 300 days, yes, it will be happening. 3, I wanted more slime eggs, and 4, Getting some ore to make bombs would come in very handy. On day 92, I woke up and actually looked at what I'd collected. An ancient seed, 3 slime eggs, and a little bit of everything else. Today we're making a start on that progress I mentioned. I went back to Ginger Island Volcano and forgot my bombs and farm totem. It's fine, continue mission as planned. Also yes, I'm wearing a chest plate, it gets me in the right mindset. I powered through the levels, mostly running away but also fighting and crafting bombs on the fly. After a brief panic at the buttons puzzle, I realised what I needed to do and reached the top. Out of the gloom appeared a very handsome man. Witchy Doodle had better hurry up and get to this island already. We can now use the forge, and as if I haven't impressed everyone enough with my crazy skills I've shown off today, we did all of this whilst heavily pregnant. That night, I gave birth to a baby girl. How's that for progress? On day 93, I named the baby Cinder, after the gems found on the volcano I nearly died in the night she was born. Speaking of that volcano, I then abandoned my newborn to go check out the cool forge. I upgraded my ring so it blocks attacks sometimes, emits light and draws in items, then went through the volcano. I didn't get many more cinder shards, but I did get a prismatic one. Day 94. Getting my second prismatic shard had reminded me of something, so I took it to the desert and made a galaxy sword. It was way stronger, and I appreciate how all of my tools are becoming very on brand. I spent the rest of the day setting off a disgusting amount of explosives and traded in all of my geodes for 7 artifact troves. Day 95, I put on my spooky outfit and did some spooky farm chores. And by that I mean I worked on the slime hutch. I put some new machines in and put 2 blue eggs in the incubators. Waiting for the festival to start, me and Artie played some fetch, something my livestream chat told me was possible. The maze was new this year, and I got lost several times. Some parts were just outright rude, but it was fun. And I got 3 gold pumpkins for completing it instead of 1. Day 96, I decided it was time to make some real progress in Skull Caverns. I collected all of my bombs, turned all of my jade into stairs, and went in with the simple goal of grab anything that isn't nailed down. I ended up getting all the way to level 68 and then used a warp totem to zip home. Day 97, I looked in my bag. 36 iridium ore, a purple slime egg, iridium bar, geodes, gems and ore. That was a very successful trip. Oh, it's winter now. I bought juniper, elderberry and mint seeds. I planted them all and decorated my farm, something that continued into day 98 where I cleared dirt and made snowmen. Day 99, I woke up to a notification that all of my cows were ill. And I realised I forgot to install a radiator. Rushing to Marnie's, I saw Krobus in the forest speaking to a Junimo, but I can investigate that later. Once in Marnie's, we hear Shane talk to her about quitting drinking, and then he gave Jazz a gift. After we arrived properly, Jazz excitedly takes us to the chicken coop, where Shane has been looking after a bunch of purple hens. I bought a radiator for my sick animals, then upgraded my axe, and had a quick peek at the forest where Krobus was earlier that day. The final day, day 100. Straight after waking up, I rushed to the Junimo forest. I followed the mushrooms and just before midday made it to the Junimo village. They sell a lot of amazing stuff. I'll definitely be back to buy decorations, but for now I just bought the artifacts on sale that I didn't have yet. I dropped them off in the museum, but kept the dino egg to hatch in the next 100 days. For the rest of the day, I continued giving out gifts until it was time to look at our challenges. Well, we finished the community centre for sure. 10 villagers to max hearts. I will put them all on screen, and you can slow the video footage down to count yourself, but I'm pretty sure I got 24 people to max hearts, considering the marriage candidates max out at 8. We got a horse, we have a hubby and a baby, and we not only went to Ginger Island, we reached the top. I also got to eat loads of new foods like spicy eel, farmers' lunches, survival burgers, pepper poppers, pizza and more. I love this playthrough and will definitely be continuing it. However, there are a couple of different 100-day series that are further forward on the schedule, so I really appreciate your patience between episodes. I really want to be able to continue making these videos full time, so if you enjoyed this 100 days, please consider dropping a like or subscribing. And I also have a buy me a coffee, though it absolutely isn't necessary to donate anything. I say it for the people that have asked about it before. If you want more Stardew Valley, I have the Stardew Valley as a Witch series right here. And if you're looking for long background noise videos, we do Stardew Valley live streams every Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!